Welcome to the Taking It Outside podcast from Spring Hill Outfitters, the show that connects you with the outdoors, with experts on guns, archery, cooking, outdoor gear, and more. Here's your host, Trent Lassiter.
Well, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Taking It Outside, inside Spring Hill Outfitters. Glad y'all could be here. Hope you're in the air conditioner wherever you may be listening to this podcast, cause we're in the heat of summer here in eastern North Carolina, and man, is it hot outside. Mm-hmm. So glad y'all could enjoy some AC and take some time to listen to this episode. Season 6, episode 6 of Taking It Outside. It's crazy that we're on season 6 and also that we're on episode 6. It goes by fast, but we've got some great episodes for you to check out. If this is your first one listening to us, we have 5 whole seasons and 5 episodes for you to catch up on. So I don't know what you're doing the rest of the weekend, but just take some time to listen to all the past episodes. You can find the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find us. YouTube, just look for Taking It Outside. We mentioned last week on last week's episode that our YouTube channel vanished. Had all kinds of good content on there and videos and flamethrowing stuff and product reviews and podcasts, and all of a sudden YouTube just took it away, and dang if we can find out where they put it, it's gone. So we started a new channel. So make sure you subscribe to the new one. Just look for Spring Hill Outfitters NC or Taking It Outside. You can find us on YouTube. Joel Gillie Productions, thank you for what you do, Joel, for us here at Spring Hill Outfitters and Taking It Outside. Joel wears many hats, and he's a big help. It wouldn't be possible without Joel, so we thank him for what he does. Let's see. Since last episode, not a whole lot's been going on. Summertime here in the hunting store is not a whole lot other than just sweating, selling some turtle boxes, selling some Yeti. July 4th happened. Hope everybody had a great Independence Day. I feel like everybody was excited with the whole 250th birthday of the country. People were a little more patriotic than normal this year. So
I wonder how many hot dogs were consumed. I saw something that July 4th is like always the crazy day for hot dogs being consumed.
Yeah, Carolina Packers, they're going to be here. I think it's maybe next week's episode, if all goes well, maybe 2 weeks. We're bringing Justin in from Carolina Packers, and we had to delay their episode a few weeks because of that. They were just so slammed. They were going to be here the week of the 4th, and they were so slammed. So maybe we'll have some numbers to share on how many red hot dogs were served in eastern North Carolina over the July 4th holiday. Joey Chestnut had like 60 of them himself, so we know 60 of them got served to Joey Chestnut. We got a great episode. Get right into it. Introduce our special guest here who has joined us, Mr. Ed Martin. How are you, sir?
Doing good, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, glad you could be here. We're talking about the North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen. We met a while back and talked at Dixie Deer Classic and wanted to get him on here to talk about a little bit about what those guys do. But before we get into that, a little bit about yourself. You're North Carolina homegrown, right?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Yep.
What part of North Carolina?
So I grew up in Shotwell, which is a little bit in between Knightdale and Clayton for the people to look at the map. But I grew up there since about 8th grade. That was my first, I lived in Raleigh before that. So that was really my introduction to the country. So when we moved out there, it was pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And then just kind of went from there with the hunting and fishing and all that type of stuff.
You've been hunting for a while? I
have. I started hunting with my dad when I was probably 6 years old. Fishing before that, probably as long as I was old enough to pick up a fishing rod. My family's originally from the Martin County area, and my dad grew up there and hunted and fished his whole life, and of course introduced me to it.
You've been involved with, and I know we're here talking about the North Carolina Handicapped Sportsman thing today, but it seems like you've volunteered a lot of different organizations over the years. Tell us what you've been a part of outside of this group before you got started.
Yeah, when I retired, I was looking for something to do, which a lot of retired military are.
Right.
And so I started out with an organization called Fallen Outdoors, which I'm still with them now. They're a nationwide organization, and they're broke down by region, and then they're broke down by state. So I still work with Team North Carolina, and everything we do inside of North Carolina is for active duty and retired veterans and their families.
Awesome.
And through that, kind of got me the bug of volunteering, kind of something to do, keep my mind right, and feel like I'm still contributing something, which led to the other organizations that I work with.
We talk about volunteerism a lot here at the store and on the podcast too with different organizations, and volunteerism I feel like is declining every day and every month and every year. It seems like less and less people. I think it's a generational thing. I think younger folks, as they get older, they don't care much about volunteering for anything. So anytime you have somebody who volunteers your time for any good cause, I don't care if it's the fire service or we're really big in Ducks Unlimited here in Delta Waterfowl and different conservation groups, and then what you guys do, which is a great cause. It's hard to find folks who donate and dedicate their time to do it. Everybody wants to get paid for something.
Young people especially. I would say my age group is the worst for it, and I wish that more people my age would be involved in some of the outreach programs we have in the area. Yeah,
so I don't know, 20 years from now, I don't know if a volunteer even will be existing. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think the big thing with volunteering is I tell people, like, if you got time and you're looking for something, just what is your passion?
Right.
Yeah.
And whatever your passion is, I guarantee you can find something to do in that passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's organizations out there. I mean, the country's flooded with 501c3 nonprofits, almost to the point where sometimes it's too many.
Too many, yeah.
Which it's a good thing, but it also hinders some of the ones they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, we talk about it a lot, and just in our county, the conservation groups that raise money. We have everything there is other than the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation in Johnson County, and there's a lot of opportunities for folks to volunteer, and a lot of opportunities for people to give money, and it's nice, to spread it all out. They help a lot of different organizations, but there's a lot of them. It's a lot in our county. We're soaked up, but about all you can have, we have it here, which is it's a good thing though. So, we're talking about North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen, right? And you've been involved with that crowd for how long?
About 5 years.
Okay, and you volunteer your time with them?
Yes,
as well.
Yes,
so it's 501c3. Tell us. I know we met, like I said, Dixie Deer Classic, and you guys tell us kind of a little bit about what all y'all do.
So North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen has been around for about 15 years. Ed Mays is the founder and still the president of the organization. He had a late onset ALS from a military accident.
Okay.
And he started North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen because he wanted to get out to the outdoors and he wanted to share that passion with other people that were disabled. And then we ended up doing a joint adventure with North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen. I met a gentleman named Sean Horsley, which volunteered with North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen. And I brought out 3 veterans out to my hunting property, and we brought out a disabled kid to hunt. And it was probably the best hunt we had ever had with Fallen Outdoors, and the veterans just couldn't believe it. It says the best, even though they didn't harvest anything.
Right.
The young kid harvested 2 deer that day.
Awesome.
And it really kind of clicked with me like, hey, this is something we need to continue because the veterans just loved it. They couldn't get over it. And they actually, all 3 veterans that came out that day are now volunteering with other adventures on their own just from what they saw that day. So we continued to have that relationship with North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen. And then Ed Mays called me one day and said, look, Sean really needs some help. Do you mind coming over and starting to help with North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen? And once I got over it and got the bug, I went into it head first. And been doing it, for about 5 years now, and have gotten, involved with a lot of bigger disabled hunts. And I was amazed at how many disabled hunts and disabled individuals were out there. And I just really got the bug for it.
So pretty much, you guys provide opportunities to people.
Correct.
They don't have opportunities otherwise. Like you said, it's a lot of, until you get involved with something like that, there's a lot of people out there who have disabilities, who want to take it outside. They want to go hunting, but they don't have the means to. So they can call you guys, and y'all can help with that whole process, which is really cool. I know you have all kinds of stories.
Yeah, the big thing that I've learned with people that are disabled, you have 2 types of disabled individuals. You have ones that don't want to do anything, and you have ones that really want to get out and try to do things.
Right.
For me personally, I like to try to get the younger disabled, the kids, before they get to like 10, 12 years old, and prove to them, like, look, you can get out and do anything. You just have to figure out how to do it. And that's what we help them do with the equipment that we have. And then we also educate their parents. A lot of the kids that I've dealt with, the parents weren't really big hunters, but we got them to where they went out and got their hunting license. And now they got a bug, and now they're hunting along with their kids. So that's a big thing. I love ruining kids and getting them stuck on hunting and fishing, and now they've got a hobby they're going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on for the rest of their lives. I love getting the kids and the youth involved and really getting them, suckers for hunting and fishing.
I've got some good buddies of mine who, growing up, never did any hunting, and they had a couple couple of kids, young guys, their kids wanted to get into hunting, and then they got their dad into hunting, and now they love it. They go deer hunting, duck hunting, and it's always good. We talk a lot on episodes about getting young people outside, and it's always good. And I feel like there is a lot of focus. A lot of the conservation groups, like I said, in Johnson County, put a lot of focus on young people, getting them involved and getting them outside. As long as they have somebody that's responsible, an adult or somebody that can take them out there and teach them right from wrong. And the safety part of it, of course, is important. But I always love seeing young folks get involved. You mentioned equipment that you guys have. Talk a little bit about what the equipment that y'all have. If somebody comes to you, what you guys have to kind of assist them in that whole process.
Yeah, so about 4 years ago, we got our first track chair. Action track chair donated, which is an all-terrain wheelchair on tracks. And that thing's really unstoppable. We've taken it into the swamp and shot wood ducks with it. And now we have 3 of those. So we have 3 track chairs. And then on top of the track chair, with Fallen Outdoors, we started getting a lot of veterans that were disabled that wanted to go hunt, and we had to tell them no because we just didn't have the capability to do it. And that's something we didn't want to do. So we built what we call now is our handicap blind. We built the first one, Take One, which was basically a box built onto a boat trailer.
Okay.
And we worked with North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen at the time to get our measurements right and what kind of windows do we need. And we found that the biggest thing with anybody that's disabled, especially if they're paralyzed, is we have to keep them dry and we have to keep them warm.
Right.
Because they can't feel. So they don't know if they're getting wet. They don't know if they're getting cold. So that was our main thing, was to build a blind that was insulated and could keep them dry. So then once we got the track chair, we did take 2 and designed a handicap blind that is built around the track chair. So our blind is big enough that we can get the track chair, we can get the shooting rig, and probably 4 or 5 grown adults in there.
Wow.
So when we do our hunts, we try to take whoever that individual is, and we try to take as many of the family members that want to go. Little sisters, big brothers, mom, dad, granddad, whoever. We try to pack the blind full of family.
That's awesome.
So that handicap blind was born. It has a fold down ramp in the back, so we can literally drive the track chair in, and we can be set up and hunting in 5-10 minutes. So we really took our time and designed it around the track chair. It's got a jack on all 4 corners. And I can pull that into an area and put the jacks down, have it set up in 10-15 minutes, and we're ready to go.
That's cool.
And then we have 2 adaptive shooting rigs, which actually it's a rig that's run by electric motors. So it has kind of like I compare it to a tank. It has up and down, left and right. It has a joystick that comes off of that where the hunter can move the joystick left and right. And if they can only use their mouth, it has a joystick and use their mouth, and they can either push a button that pulls the trigger, or they can blow into a straw that pulls the trigger.
Wow.
So if they're completely quadriplegic, we can still take them out there and get it done. Then we use a standard 308 rifle for using rifle, and we have an ATN scope that you can get right off of Amazon. ATN's got a real good product, and it has its own Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And then we just use a tablet, put the tablet up in front of our hunter, and then it moves the crosshair and everything over to the screen.
Wow.
So they can sit there and watch it come out, and then they just move the joystick wherever they need to move it to, put the crosshairs on the animal, and either push the button or blow into the tube, and it fires the weapon. And the good thing about that is that it being a trigger-based system, we can shoot shotgun. We use a 410 for turkey. Okay. And then we use crossbow during archery season.
Awesome. That's amazing, the technology out there to do stuff.
Seriously.
I mean, I've seen stuff on social media, and I've never seen it, obviously, in person before, but it's amazing the stuff that's out there to help folks that aren't able to get out and enjoy the hunting experience that because of that stuff they can, which is really cool. How does the land, I mean, so somebody comes and you have all this really cool equipment. What kind of land, where do y'all get land or access to land, or how does that work as far as where do you take them hunting?
So unfortunately, the plot of land I was hunting, have been hunting now for 12 years, obviously development. And then we're seeing that problem now, especially around the Knightdale, Shotwell area.
A lot of places.
So we don't have any dedicated property. We do have, I'm a king if I know a guy.
Right.
So if we do have somebody that hits me up, says, hey, I really want to get my kid out or my grandfather or whatever, depending on the area they're in, I usually know somebody in that area that we can work it out and get them out on a plot of land. So really, I tell people all the time, it's just a phone call.
Right.
You give me a call or hit us up on Facebook. It's usually where we get a lot of the correspondence at. And once we do that, we can figure it out. I say, give me a little bit of time to make a few phone calls, and usually we've got it figured out within a couple of days where we can take them and get them out. Luckily for us, the farming community and the outdoor community is they're really giving people. So, you come out and it's not a hard sell to say, hey, I got somebody that's disabled that wants to come out. And they're not picky. You don't have somebody that gets in the blind and says, hey, I want 140 class deer.
Right.
They don't care.
They're just happy to see.
And as long as the landowner's, willing for us to be able to whatever, obviously it's the landowner's rules.
Right.
But whatever we're able to take, they're super happy with it.
I'm guessing if people are listening, and we'll talk more in a little bit about how to help. But as far as the land topic, if somebody had land that I wanted to offer it up to you for you guys to use, you could contact y'all, and y'all be glad, I'm sure, to put it down in your Rolodex to have.
You can look us up on Facebook, North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen. There is 2 pages. There's a group, and then there's just a regular page that anybody can get on. I tell people just go to the regular page. If you message the page, you're talking directly to me and Chris Hafner, my counterpart, and we usually get back with you pretty quick. And then we have a binder, and then we can write down all your information. The big thing is that area. And that way, if we have something that comes up in your area, we try to keep the individual, when we take them hunting, we try to keep them as close to home as possible.
Right.
Because like I said before, we want this to be a family event. And what we found is usually is when they do these hunts, they may have never done it before or never really had the opportunity to do it. So if they take a deer, they want to put it in the back of the truck and they want to parade it around town. They take it to the local outdoor store. And so the more family and the more area we can do that in, that's what we strive to do.
Right.
But for us, being that we're a small organization, I've worked really hard to team up with a lot of these bigger disabled hunts. We have first one coming up is Back in the Woods, which is in the Carthage area. Okay. I think last year they did 60, 65 disabled hunters.
Wow.
Then after that, we have Happy Hollow, which is in right by Asheboro Zoo. Okay. And I think they're smaller. They do about 15. They do disabled veterans and disabled individuals. We'll go help with that. And then we'll do Gobbles and Grunts, which is the other youth organization I work with. We do that in November. And then the big hunt we do is we do a hunt with Sawtooth Farms. They're out kind of north of Charlotte.
Right.
And last year they took out 78 disabled hunters on a Friday and Saturday. And I think they harvested 114 deer in 2 days.
It's a good weekend.
Yeah. But it's, being a small organization, to be able to work with those bigger, I can bring all the equipment in, but they already have the land. They have, they have all the logistics and everything worked out. Then we do a lot of one-off hunts. If I have a kid, let's say we take somebody out on a hunt and they're not able to harvest something, and once they get the bug, I'm going to work as hard as I can
get something
during that year to try to make sure that they can, try to harvest something. Because, you can hunt all day, but then once you harvest that first animal, that's when you really are stuck.
That's right.
So I have a lot of local farmers in Pope Farms. I'm sure you've heard of Pope Farms in Knightdale.
Yeah.
We work real closely with them. We go out to their turkey shoot every year and set up.
We work with them, Brad Pope and
absolutely.
Their family. They've come here the last couple of years and bought some stuff for the turkey shoot and some of their giveaways and stuff. The raffles they do. They have a big turkey shoot.
Yeah, their turkey shoots every Friday and Saturday, and it's an absolute blast. And it's gotten bigger and bigger every year. But we set up with them the first weekend before Thanksgiving. We come out there and bring all our equipment out, and then they, some of their donations or their turkey shoot money goes to donate it to our organization.
One thing you mentioned a while ago I thought was cool about talk about how you said it's not necessarily if the person who is disabled, they don't have to necessarily hunt. Maybe they want to see a kid or a grandkid or somebody in their family have the opportunity to go hunting. You can take them out and watch your grandson maybe have a chance to kill a deer or something.
Yeah, absolutely. We want people to understand that, the equipment we have, we want to use it.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be hunting and fishing. We if you have, I've had a neighbor hit me up. His father was getting bad off, and he wasn't able to get around his farm anymore. So I brought the track chair out, dropped it off, and they kept the track chair for a weekend. And he was just able to get in the track chair and just ride around his farm again. Awesome. Also, too, we want people to think outside the box. We don't necessarily have to have the person that's disabled be the one that's doing the hunting or pulling the trigger. We want to provide an experience. We get a lot of, unfortunately, I get a lot of people that come up to me at shows and say, man, I really wish I would have known about this because my dad or my uncle or my grandmother, were outdoorsmen. In the last 10 years of their life, they weren't able to do that anymore. We're here to be able to provide that opportunity for them to get back out. So, if you got grandkids that have never had the opportunity to hunt with their grandfather or their grandmother or whoever that may be, uncle or somebody that had some influence in their life, and I bring the blind in, we'll get the track chair out, we'll take them out, and those kids can harvest the animal. That's and awesome. I just have that experience with, prime example, I have a Marine Corps veteran that was that got blown up. He was an EOD tech in Iraq, and he's a triple amputee.
Wow.
And he's had the opportunity to do a lot of hunts and stuff with Wounded Warrior. Well, we invited him out to a turkey hunt, and he was a recluse. He didn't want to get around a lot of people and stuff like that. And we kind of talked him into it. Say, hey, come out. We'll keep you separated from everybody. We're going to make this hunt about you. And he said, hey, I really want to bring my 10-year-old daughter. And I said, she ever hunted before? He's like, no, she's never hunted before, but she's talked about wanting to get into it. I said, well, I'll do you one better. I was like, how do you feel about her hunting? He's like, well, this is just a veteran hunt. I was like, this is your hunt.
Right.
Yes, it's a veteran hunt, but this is your hunt. Yeah. So you tell me what you want to do, and we'll provide that. And we ended up getting her behind the trigger. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to harvest a turkey that day. But she was all about it, man. I taught her how to use. We gave her a turkey call, taught her how to use a turkey call, and got her kind of into it, and got him more into it because now he was living vicariously through her,
right?
And it allowed me to use as an avenue to start getting him out to more hunts along with her. So that's what I'm saying when I say think outside the box, and I'm a sucker for the kids. If you're a disabled veteran or you're disabled and you got kids, I'm gonna start hammering on you to try to get your kids involved.
Right.
So that's really my passion is obviously helping the disabled, but also getting those kids out. And now we do a big family dove hunt on opening day in Clinton, and it's veteran families and it's disabled families. We bring them out. We bring out about 15 families, and the key word is family.
Right.
Because a lot of the things that are done, the families aren't involved. So we do this dove hunt. You bring everybody. It's on a farm in Clinton. It's Kitty Fork Outdoors is the one that puts it on.
Okay.
And they have a dairy cow, they have goats, they have dogs, and they really entertain even the younger kids. So if they don't want to get into the field, they still have something to do while dad or mom or whatever taking the older kids out and dove hunting. So that's what I'm really into. And then what I found is the veteran families blend very well with the disabled families because the veteran families aren't as judgmental to the kids with disabilities.
Right.
The kids, they involve them in all the activities and stuff, and the kids that are disabled have a lot of fun because they're not singled out. And also, too, my job is to make sure they're getting involved.
Right.
Like, why are you sitting over here? You need to be over there doing this, this, and this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you mentioned you volunteer your time. Obviously, all the stuff that you guys are able to do doesn't come free. We talked about volunteerism a while ago, but you mainly rely 100% on donations, I'm assuming, right? As far as funding everything. Yes, so if somebody wants to help out the cause, I know you mentioned going to Facebook a while ago to kind of learn more about what y'all do, but as far as donations, how can somebody give to kind of help the cause? Yeah, if you contact me on Facebook, we can work out all the details of how to donate. We have a PayPal, and then we just tell people, like, come out and see us at shows. We're going to be out here at y'all's show coming up at the end of August, and we're going to bring all our equipment out here. And the big thing is, I'm a big relationship guy. I like to prove myself, right? Because there's tons of 501c3 nonprofits, and a lot of people, especially these days, are very hesitant to give up their money, and then they would just want to make sure that when they do donate, that it's going to something that they want to donate to. So I tell everybody,
Unfortunately, we didn't make the Greenville show, but I'm going to go up there and politic with some of the individuals. We know a lot of people that are going to be up there, so I'll be up there on Sunday. And then, we're going to be at your show. We're at Dixie Deer Classic every year, and we tell people, hey, stop if you're unsure, stop by, have a conversation with us. Check out our Facebook page. Everything we do is on Facebook, and you can go through all the pictures and see all the hunts that we do. So I'm a big prove it guy. If you have questions about us, give us a call. Let us know. Podcasts like this, you having me out here and let me talk about it.
Sure,
goes a long way because I want people to see that we're passionate about it. We're not taking your money and not doing what we say we're going to do.
Right.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, we're excited to have you at the Southern Outdoor Classic. It's the last weekend in August, August 29th and 30th this year. We always kick off hunting season with that show, and this is our fifth year doing it, I think. But excited to have you guys if you're in the area. And that show draws people from Virginia and South Carolina and all over the Southeast. It's really grown into a really cool weekend. But if you're in the area, hopefully you can come out to that show. It's a free show. The show itself is a great opportunity to do all kinds of fun stuff, but you can learn more about what these guys do and see their stuff and talk to the man behind it. And if you feel so led, I'm sure he wouldn't mind a little donation to help out with the cause.
Sure, and we'll be doing a raffle, and then we do raffles online. We got our Zeffy account that you can access on our Facebook page, and we'll run raffles on Zeffy. But yeah, just the community. The community is a big thing when you come to any type of nonprofit. If you don't have the community behind you, and a lot of these bigger hunts that we go to that I talk about, where we're taking 70 to 75 disabled sportsmen out on these weekends. When you go and see those hunts, and when you look behind the scenes, it's all community. All the people they have there are volunteers, and it's people from the church, it's people from the local community, it's people from the outdoor stores in the area, the taxidermists, and all those people. They believe in what you do, and they all come together. We mentioned the Popes. The Popes are a big contributor to us and bring us out, and that's a piece of property I always have access to. It's just a phone call to Brad and say, hey, I got a disabled hunter I want to bring out, and he's like, no problem. And his family gets to get involved, and his kid, he's got his 3-year-old will come out and hang out with us, and that's the big thing, man, is to make it family and to get the community behind you. And once you win the community over, it makes your job a little bit easier when it comes to finding places to go and finding the funds to do it. And also, I've been doing this for a long time, is just learning how to cut corners to save as much money as we possibly can, that you're not taking money away from the organization.
Yeah, if you watch social media and the news, sometimes you may think that society sucks and there's no good people left in the world, but there is. Podcasts like today is why we get to help show you that there's some good people out there, and we talk about it a lot. I worry with the generation coming up and the younger folks that it's going to be less and less, but there's still some good folks out there who donate their time and their efforts and their money to be able to provide stuff like y'all do, which is really cool. So it's a great opportunity, and it's really exciting what you guys are doing. Anything else that we hadn't talked about you need to mention about what you guys, as far as the mission and what y'all do, or we got it all covered, you think?
Yeah, I think we're there. The big thing is, we do it for free.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I want people to realize. Like, all our equipment and everything, if you call me, because people, when they see us, they think we're an outfitter, and we're not an outfitter.
Right.
We're not professional guides. I like to think of myself as being a pretty, knowledgeable sportsman.
Right.
But I'm not a guide. So if you contact us and we're able to set something up, all the equipment we bring, the experience and everything is to no charge to the family.
That's awesome.
We don't ask for a dime, and that's why we beat the streets. That's why we fundraise. We have a good relationship with the Wake County Wildlife Club, and they help us out, especially with Dixie Deer Classic. And we have local outdoor shops and stuff to help us with donating raffle prizes and firearms and stuff, so we're able to do raffles. But we put the work in to be able to raise money to where we can continue to do these hunts and stuff for no charge to the individuals that we help out.
That's cool. Yeah, Bill from one of our crew here.
Yep.
He's been involved, hung out here with us for the last, Bill's been here for a while now, hanging out, helping us out, and he's been really involved, and I know him personally, and of course the store assists in the process as well, but Bill donates and gives a lot of his they've done raffle prizes and things, I think, for y'all to raffle off guns. And
They
he's
have,
purchased the guns. You know, little as he helped kind of purchase a gun for them to use for a raffle to raise money for what they do. So anything like that, you know, I'm sure they'll take monetary donations, or if you have, like you said, a local store that wants to donate or whatever it may be, they can use for a raffle or auction or one of their events that they do. I'm sure they would be able to accept that as well. And like I said, a lot of good folks out there who do good things still.
Yeah, when we deal with businesses and stuff, because a lot of the people that want to donate through their business, because
Right.
we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We
Right.
do tax receipts. For anything you want to donate, we'll do a tax receipt for, so you can use that for when it's tax season. So yeah, that's the big thing. Community's huge. You know, we could not, and none of these nonprofits would survive if it wasn't for the community.
We talk a lot about relationships, and Chris Williams was on here a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about, grilling, I think, cooking or something. But Chris did a couple of episodes a couple of seasons ago about conservation, and Chris been a good friend of the store for a long time with Delta Waterfowl, of course. But we always talk about the importance and power of relationships, and that's something my dad taught me a long, long time ago. And you always hear the old saying something about what you know is about who you know, and that's not saying it's 100% true. You need to know a little bit of stuff. The what is important too, but who you know is important, and relationships and just being nice to people. And like I said, there's some good folks out there, and that help out. That's really good that y'all have the opportunity to do what y'all do, and folks are able to help out. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Chris. Me and Chris go back. He started helping with the Fallen Outdoors when we first started doing our annual banquet, which we have our annual banquet coming up August 22nd in Morehead City, and that's the veteran side. We have our banquet there, but Chris came in and kind of helped us get that off the ground when we first started it. So I met Chris, and then through Chris, I met Andrew in the mid section of Ducks Unlimited, and then I work with Neil down at the coast.
Dave Neil,
Dave just ended up building. Finished up a bourbon barrel for the Banded Billfish tournament.
I actually saw that on Facebook right before we started recording a while ago. We'll talk more about the Banded Billfish in just a second, but I saw just literally 5 minutes before we started recording a picture or a couple of pictures of the barrel they were using for the auction, I guess, to raise money.
So all the barrels that you see at all the Ducks Unlimited are my barrels. I built all those barrels for Ducks Unlimited. Started out with my brother-in-law was the vice president of Little River Ducks Unlimited, and I built one for him. And it, people went nuts, and it did so well. Andrew came and pulled me aside and said, "Man, can you build these?" I'm like, 100%.
We probably had some of your barrels at we're really heavily involved with the Johnson County chapter here.
But the Johnson County, the barrel that was there with the sticker on the top. I built that one. North Carolina, the NC State Ducks Unlimited. Yeah. I did 2 for them. I did 2 for Wilmington last year, and then I do one for David Neal every year for the Banded Billfish tournament.
Well, cool.
So, he picked it up on Monday, so it'll be going on their auction.
Yeah, they had shared it. Like I said, that's how I saw it. They shared your post or somebody's post on Facebook. But that's we got involved. We've been involved with DU for a long time. Speaking of volunteering time, and got involved with the Banded Billfish tournament. I don't know, several years ago, and fish it every year and go down there. And we sell the T-shirts, which I think I saw you saw.
Yeah, I put one. I already put mine up on the store.
We sold a bunch of. I was doing some reports yesterday. We sold a bunch of those things the last couple of weeks, and that's always a big fundraiser for North Carolina Ducks Unlimited and a good time. I enjoy offshore fishing, and I enjoy Ducks Unlimited, and it's nice to combine those two for a fun weekend. So
definitely, if there's individuals out there that want to get involved with doing some trips for veterans, you can hit me up too. With the North Carolina or with the Fallen Outdoors, we are another 501c3, and the big thing about us is we handle all the logistics for you. Yeah. What we find is there's a lot of individuals that want to do trips, they want to do hunts, and they try to do it on their own, and they have a lot of no-shows. The veterans say, "Hey, I'm coming," and they don't show. Where for us, running the logistics, we make sure if they want 10 individuals, that 10 individuals show up.
Right. Yeah, duck hunting, waterfowl hunting is my passion. My go-to is I love chasing the duck around, but we were a part of a couple of hunts the last couple of years down there at our place in Hyde County with some veterans and Kent over at East Coast Waterfowl, good friend of the store, and we'll talk with him here in another week or two about the Southern Outdoor Classic and some last minute plans and details for it. They do a lot with the veteran hunts. With duck hunting now, they make it where you can, the Youth Day and the Veterans Day kind of coincide. So it's really cool to see those opportunities. And a lot of people like that, they want to go hunting and don't have the place to go. So it's good to provide that opportunity to them. So.
Yeah, 100%, especially with waterfowl hunting. We have, I do one with my brother-in-law down there every year on the veteran weekend. And, those veterans, and I'm sure you saw that, are just beside themselves because you got two types. You got the ones that waterfowl hunted before and they get stationed in North Carolina. And, as well as I do, if you don't know somebody,
it's hard to find somewhere to go.
It's just hard to try to get out. And, some of the public blinds and stuff are so hard to try to get into. So being able to take them, and then, Hyde County is known throughout the United States of being a prime duck hunt. And so, I put that up on the Facebook page, like, hey, let's take some guys to Hyde County. And I have, guys crawling over each other trying to get that opportunity to go up there. So any of the, the clubs or anything up there that want to get veterans out, let us know. Because, like I said, by far, I think that's the most, when dealing with the veterans, those veterans appreciate that opportunity probably more, the waterfowl hunting, than anything else. Because anything else in North Carolina, and being a guy that got, that did 24 years in service, going to other states is super difficult when you go from your home area to another state to try to break into hunting and fishing, because you just trying to break into it. So all, Camp Lejeune, all those areas where these guys that have come from other states, it's really hard for them to get out. So they got that passion but providing those opportunities there, it's really, really good.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool, man. I'm glad we could work this out where you could come by today and talk about what y'all do. And again, swing by Southern Outdoor Classic the end of August, the last weekend in August, to talk to these guys and find out more about what they do and how you can help out with the cause. And I'll go over to their Facebook page, Dixie Deer Classic. He mentioned that. They do that every year. And it's always a big time. That's always the first weekend in March. So it's a few months away, but the way time's going by, it'll be here fast. So make plans to go by and see him at a show near you and check him out and help any way you can. So
really appreciate it.
Yeah, glad you could be here. I mentioned Band of Billfish. We're excited for that. We got some really good episodes planned the next couple of 3 weeks. We'll recap Band of Billfish and how hopefully Team Spring Hill Outfitters and Due South won that huge check, first place, and we're so excited. That's what I hope the recap's about. Either way, I hope the recap is we had a good time and raised some money for the Ducks. So excited to talk about that. Carolina Packers, I mentioned. Those guys, Bright Leaf, are good friends of the store, and we have a fun episode with them playing. Last time they came up here to our kitchen and brought a bunch of food and cooked it.
It was so nice.
And we ate bologna sandwiches before, during, and after I think we recorded the podcast.
And Carolina Packers have been a big supporter of me with North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen and with the Fallen Outdoors by providing hot dogs and bologna.
Man, I tell you, talking about relationships and just being nice to people, those guys, they do a lot for a lot of people too. I've never seen Mr. Kent Denning, who over there I've known for a long, long time. Met him through Ducks Unlimited years ago, but now Justin does a lot of their marketing stuff. But those guys help a lot of groups of churches and kids and Parks and Rec and Ducks Unlimited, and they support a lot of nonprofits in this community. And they do a really good job. The hot dogs were dang good.
Oh, yeah.
The hot dogs were good.
That's all my wife will eat.
That's all. You better not bring a brown hot dog anywhere around this.
We were stationed in Maine, and she was on the internet trying to figure out how she could get Bright Leaf hot dogs.
Sounds like Ashley.
Ashley Mason, yes. Ashley Mason moved off to Texas, and she has to finagle her way some, I think it's under the table or in the black market, red hot dogs to be shipped down there to Texas. But yeah, it's after you go with a red hot dog, you don't want to see a brown hot dog.
Yeah, the Carolina Packers is a prime example when I talk about community. To them, if they donate a case of hot dogs to us, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But to us, that's $30, $40, $50 that we don't have to spend, that we're able to keep into the organization. And by doing your homework and being a volunteer and reaching out to these companies and getting those small donations, even though they're small, they add up.
Makes a big difference. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, those guys we always have a fun podcast when they come and join us. And they had a big bologna cook-off last year we did at the farm, and that's what we talked about last year. So I don't know what they got up their sleeve this year, but when they come, he said they have some stuff to talk about and some exciting things they have going on. Maybe a contest, competition, maybe some new T-shirts and apparel they have. I don't know, lots of fun stuff. But Carolina Packers, we love working with people who have good food because we like to eat.
We do.
Unfortunately, sold out of all their 4th of July shirts before I could get one.
I saw that. I saw they had another little restock of them, and I think they may have sold out too. But we worked with them through our Johnson County Ducks Unlimited last year. Had a really cool design on a T-shirt that we sold at our banquet. We revealed it, released it at our banquet, and then they sold them at some shows after the banquet, and they've still sold a bunch of those
And
things.
they sell it in their
cool.
store, too.
Yep, have a little duck there with his Carolina Packers hat on, cooking some hot dogs on the grill. It's really cool. So, but yeah, fun episodes coming. Vanderbilt Fish, Carolina Packers, Southern Outdoor Classic. Lots of fun stuff coming the next couple of weeks. So y'all stay tuned to future episodes. And thank you for being here. It's been fun.
Appreciate it. And please, come out to the show that last weekend in August.
Yep.
And we'll have our equipment out here and walk around on it, go inside, ride around in a track chair.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get some video of you tooling around in a track chair.
I may be calling you
might
myself
need
here in a
it.
few weeks because I've had some hip issues the last few months, and I got another surgery a couple of weeks from now, which I hope everything goes like it ought to. And by hunting season, I'll be back ready to run around and climb up and down stands and everything else. But if not, the way I feel right now, I may be having to use your services myself.
There you go.
So,
us up.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Find them on Facebook. Check them out. North Carolina Handicapped Sportsmen. Mention Southern Outdoor Classic. Look, Southern Outdoor Classic is a free event, but you have to have a ticket. It's a free ticket, but you have to go to southernoutdoorclassic.com to get those tickets. And, of course, you can find, like I mentioned a while ago, the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Go to springhilloutfitters.com. You can find us there as well. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Go to the new channel and find us there. And, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Joel, for what you do. Joel Gillie Productions, the man behind the scenes who makes it all happen. Thank y'all for being a part of another great episode. Stay tuned for season 6, episode 7 coming here. Hopefully in about a week if all goes well. So y'all enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend. Stay cool and take it outside.